Hello, namaste, and wish you a happy and prosperous Diwali from India to Spain.
Jai, thank you very much. For you as well, from Spain to India.
Oh, gracias. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Good to see you.
So I will begin the conversation now. So, hello everybody. This is Utkarsha Kesarkar from Mumbai. I am an international awardee, lifestyle blogger, and magazine columnist in a conversation with Swami Prema Rajendradas, who is international author, a spiritual coach, motivational speaker, and priest in charge of Jahanava Mandir and Ashram of Bhakti Yoga in Spain. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the conversation.
For everybody. Radhe Radhe.
So, my first question obviously is, how are you spending your lockdown in Spain? How is it there?
Bueno, here now start again like more serious lock that it's not possible to travel much. Well, it's not possible to go on the street. But when we are living here in the countryside, so we are very happy with our cow seva, go seva, doing our duty with the nature, taking care vegetables and trees, olive trees and almond trees, and taking care about the ashram and about Sri Krishna, because all what we are doing here is directed for Sri Krishna, for the Lord Sri Hari, which is like a main point of our life here. It's owner of the place and of the ashram and of the he is the supreme deity. So we are serving him with all these activities. All is dedicated for him. When we are creating vegetables, so we are offering it after for Sri Krishna like a prasadam. No? When we are taking care about the cow, so we are looking that Sri Krishna is in her heart, that she is a mother. When we take care about people which come here time to time, so today, for example, here is a spiritual feast, so there will come some people, but and we will chant mantra and doing class satsang about Bhagavad Gita, about the knowledge of the Vedas, and when we don't change our activities in any time, always the same.
It is very pleasing to hear that you are enjoying yourself in the service of God. It is very pleasing.
Yeah, for me as well.
So, the next question is, can you share the story of your transformation from a Western man to the priest of a Hindu temple? The before and after story.
It's about like a night and a day in my life, because before I was like everybody here in Occident, just fighting with my mind and looking forward for to survive with some way in this world, and to get some happiness, some temporary happiness, but always I was just for temporaries I was happy, and after I was sad and I was not happy, and I was always thinking how it's possible. No? From my childhood I had questions inside of me which nobody can respond me. My father was quite wise in this aspect materially, and he explained me everything materially, but spiritually he was atheist, the same like my mother. They were atheists, and they couldn't explain me nothing about God. They tell me that God doesn't exist, that it's like a story, like this is like for people which were not cool, not cultured in the past time, so they need something to explain the natural things which happens, but I couldn't accept in my heart, because I feel that there is something what I cannot explain, what I cannot understand, but in my heart there is a flow love, of life, which is not material. No? I couldn't understand it because nobody explained me, but I feel it. Okay? And when I was small, they told me that when I die, so everything finish. And I was child, so you can imagine I was like very sad. I couldn't understand how can everything finish. It's not possible. But in the same time, I have no explanation. So one in the night when I go sleep, when after talking with my parents, so I was just thinking about that. Mm, how it's possible that I will finish, that everything will finish, this world, these people, my family, everything will finish. How it's possible? No, that I couldn't understand it. How will disappear all this and it will no more exist? No. And after I was like start to meditate in consciously that about the life inside of me, what I am, no, who I am, and I could feel the flow of the light and of the life inside of me, and I was just sure that that there is nothing what can stop this. This cannot be destroyed, and this was Sri Krishna which spoke to me. So I just finally stopped to cry and I go sleep, and I just was thinking I will do it with some way that I will not die. And after some years, uh, I just meet my Guru Maharaj on. It was also I wa- I was looking for some spirituality, but here in Occident it's not easy to find really spiritual realized persons. So I find books and things like that, but nobody who put it in practice. No, I have written some books about from India about the master and disciple and how they realize, and from Buddhism, and also here is more accessible alchemy or magic and things like that. But I never see somebody who put it in practice. No, in India you go and there you have many sages and many sadhus and people which are very spiritual. But here in Occident, it's difficult to find somebody like this. So I couldn't. I have no faith. I just read it, but I had no faith. But after I was looking for from childhood, I knew with some way that I will go to India one day. I didn't know why, but I didn't know nothing about India. But it was from when they asked us in the school, "What will you do? When will you? Where will you travel?" And I in India, but I don't know why. And so when I was bigger, so I take like a little bit respect India. Some people speak it's dangerous there and this and that, you don't know. So I was looking for to go South America, maybe to look for some shamans or somebody, maybe somebody who can teach me, because I didn't know nothing about Guru and about Sri Krishna, and nothing about yoga, nothing, zero. So I was like reading something about the shamans. So I like to go to South America. But when I come to Spain, because I'm from Czech Republic originally, no, and Czech Republic was not so good economy like in the Occidental country before, because Czech was a communist, no, much time, and there was not so economic prosperity like in Germany or Spain. So I come to Spain to work and to make money, and after to go to South America to travel there. And here I meet on my traveling here in Spain, I meet my guru in autostop when I was making hitchhike. My guru stopped and he catch me and he spoke me a little bit about yoga, and that he's a master of yoga guru. I didn't know nothing about this, but it was so attractive. It was like unique thing which without which I didn't know nothing. No, so I was interested to know. So after I stay with him one day, and after I go, and after several months, I was curious, and I come back, and I start to practice, and now I am here after 20 years. I am here. I didn't go to South America that time, but after several years with my guru, I go there to make satsangs and teach people about Vedic knowledge. So my inner desire to go South America was fulfilled, but with another way. You know? Sri Krishna changed my plans and make it with another way. So, and well, after I travel also with Guru Maharaj to India, and we have an ashram in India. So
Okay.
it's
Where in India? Where in India? You
Radhakund. Radhakund, you know,
Radha
Vrindavan.
Kunja, Vrindavan. Okay. So you have an ashram there. All right.
Yeah, we have Prema
Yeah.
Guru
Hmm.
near Govardhan. Today is Govardhan Puja, you know,
Yes.
Puja for
We
Govardhan.
went to Mathura. Yeah. I'm aware of it's a very elaborate ritual.
Yeah, it's very special there. Very, there
Yeah.
you can feel the presence of Sri Krishna very powerful, you know, because everybody there is devotee, and there is like still alive this atmosphere from Sri Krishna when he comes here. So I first time when I come to Vrindavan, I just
Hmm.
go on the floor and touch the floor, and I was thinking here was the supreme personality of God was walking here. No, I
Okay.
can put this dust on my head, so purify my dirty soul. It was really something very special emotions. When I come first day there, I had dreams with Lord Rama, with Hanuman, with
Oh.
Sri Krishna. So I
Hmm.
was very like it just make more powerful my faith, and so that I go on the right path. No.
That's very inspiring to see that, to see someone who is in a good place on a spiritual, mental, emotional, and intellectual dimension. It is very inspiring.
Yeah.
And I feel that you should share your story about your journey to Mathura, India, Vrindavan, with as many people as possible. It inspires me to rediscover myself, to rediscover my own position from a spiritual perspective. But I'm very curious. I mean, there are 330 million gods in Hinduism. So, why did you choose to become a devotee of Krishna?
Bueno, uh, there is one verse in Srimad Bhagavatam which speaks where is written that if you are attached to to this material things, to this world, to your family, to anything in this world, don't go to Vrindavan, don't go to Yamuna, don't go near to Yamuna because there is Sri Krishna playing his flute,
Hmm.
and it will catch your heart and you will forget all this world. So the sweet flute of Sri Krishna, it's touching soul. And this is one special quality of Sri Krishna which nobody else has. And I would like to convert me in this flute to become like a instrument of God without false ego, without some selfish desires, without some attachments, and to become like a flute of God, which He can use me to play the best melodies. Because even the gopis are envious to the
Hmm.
flute of Sri Krishna, because she touched the mouth of Sri Krishna all the time. They like to make the same. But bueno, there is a confusion about the name of God. God is just one. There are devas. Devas here in Occident, the traduction is not very good. Is the demigods, but they are not demigods. They are like the part of God, like ministers of God in this universe. No, the devas like Sri Shiva, Sri
Hmm.
Brahma,
Yes.
Sri Lakshmi, Ganesha. I can see that you have a Ganesh there.
Oh, yeah, there is a Ganesh over there. Yes. And yeah.
All the Vayu, Agni, Chandra, Surya, they are all demigods. But it's not the proper translation, but there is no translation for Deva, you know. Deva means like diving, no? I think so. They are they are not directly God. They can, it's, for example, the comparison between Shiva and Krishna is that the difference is that Sri Shiva is like a yogurt and Sri Krishna is like milk. You can do yogurt from milk, but you
Hmm.
cannot do milk from yogurt. He has every Sri Shiva. Sri Shiva is an expansion of Sri Krishna, but he don't normally give liberation. He let it for Sri Krishna. Even he is a devotee of Sri Krishna. What is meditating Lord Shiva all the time? He's meditating in Sri Krishna all the time. So we have to just recognize position of each other. And Sri Shiva, for example, it's it's God, but it's not the same supreme personality of Godhead. He is like expansion of him for some proposite here, no, to wake up the ignorant persons which we are, and to bring us to the Lord Sri Krishna, because he same is the devotee of Sri Krishna. He is the best devotee of Sri Krishna, and he is the expansion and the example of devotion. He's not different from God, but in the same time has a special position. And everybody of the devas has a special position. But the supreme personality of Godhead is just one. It's Sri Krishna Bhagavan, and he has many expansions and reincarnation. For example, another there are the avatars, no, of
Yes.
Lord Ram, Varaha, Vamana, Purushottam, Parashurama.
Yes.
Like Balaram. Balaram is his brother of Sri Krishna, but
Yes.
is the no different from Sri Krishna. Candle, and you make another candle, fire from it. They are the same candles, but there's no difference. Just one was the first one, but they are the same. Or if you take, for example, the star from the sea, you cut one leg of the star, and it's become another star. This animal which you has this ability to create another animal like from part of his body. So this is the same Sri Krishna. He is absolute, so he can expand millions of times, but is the same. We can see it, for example, in our heart. You have Sri Krishna in your heart, but I also have Sri Krishna in my heart. And everybody who is watching this,
Omnipresent.
everybody has Sri Krishna personally in his heart, in his personal form. Everybody. But in the same time, he is just one. So this is the mystery of God. Who can understand this? So I don't think that we have to choose between different deities. We just to have to hear our heart and our faith. And he speak also this in Bhagavad Gita, that
Mm.
when we have a faith, he will make more strong our faith, because the faith in reality is him. When we have the faith, we have grow our faith. Surely one day we will come to Sri Krishna, because all the ways goes to Sri Krishna. Maybe
So,
indirectly.
if we want to talk to Lord Krishna or God in general, what is the way to meet or call God to be able to talk to him? This is an interesting question, and I'm personally curious.
It's a question of a million, no? $1 million question, no?
Yes, million dollar question.
Yeah, yeah. It's the most easy. I can tell you just once I have a dream in which was mm, there was a very pecaminoous person. He was like a thief, and he steal because he's still a deity. He's still a deity of Sri Krishna, and he was like very pecaminoous, much sin. He was a sinner, but the mercy of Sri Krishna, that he take him in his hands, and then he just contemplate him. He start to speak to the deity. It was like Gopal, like now is the month of Kartik, no, Damodar. So he was,
Yes,
this deity was of Damodar, like golden, and he looking on the deity and start to speak to the deity like a child, like if is it real child, no? And the deity, when he was talking like this man was hurted in one hand, and he with his hand the deity make like this, and he healed his hand, because he was sincere with him. He believed that he is a child. He was not believing that he is like the statue or something. He just talked to him like if he is alive, and the deity become alive, and he um, like purifies this sinner, and he become like with golden archery, and like a like deva, like a karna, with this
Karna.
with
Yeah.
with this golden archery. And
Yes.
so like kshatriya from the old times, like Sri Arjuna. So
Yes.
so he become totally with much qualities, and Lord's Gopal just make with his hand like this and looking on him, and after like looked for me, and I become sleepy and I wake up. But it was like this dream after I write it, because it was for me very significant, because when we talk to God, when we have attitude to God like personal, so then we can communicate with him, then we can connect with him. That's what he mostly like, that we have a personal contact, like that we love him like a person. Any relation we like to have, that's why there are so many forms and pastimes he is doing, that we can choose the form we like to worship. But the thing is to establish with him personal personal
Relationship.
contact, no? Like for example, now is the Damodara history, no? Like Madre Yashoda, um,
Yes.
catching him and like to bind him with the and so everybody can sing for Gopal in his house, uh, to offer him fire and incense and flowers. And it's very nice opportunity for us to connect with him like a child, no? And there are so many feasts and so many things always happen something in India, like to worship God with a personal way, and everybody can
True.
make a
Everybody has
small
a
altar in
personal.
his house. He tells in Bhagavad Gita that you can offer him just a leaf, a flower, patram pushpam palam toyam, no? He just
Hmm,
but with devotion, with bhakti, no? This is the most important. That's why it's important to make every day bhajan. Bhaj significate to serve with love, worship with love, this with devotion. This is the most important. He don't need nothing from us, but when we do something for him with love and devotion, this is what he likes. This is what can make us connect with him. And when what I will explain you, there is so many millions of stories of God in India, also with small children. For example, Namdev.
Namdev.
Namdev was a
Yeah.
child, and he was eating with the deity, with Sri Krishna examples, when the innocents make break the fronts between spiritual and material world. The innocence. We have to become like a child and have this confiance, this faith, and this personal contact with God, like without some adult concepts, or just like a child, like children, no? Like the gopis and gopas. I
True,
think this is
sir.
the way how.
I mean, there are infinite ways, infinite channels to connect with God, and it is very subjective, very personal. But what remains common is the love and devotion that we offer to God. And when He is pleased with your devotion, He is pleased with your love. He appears you in any form. And you cannot predict that. You cannot predict that. You cannot define that. But He
Control him.
will appear. You have to be faithful.
Yes, yes. Kijai, very good.
So, sir,
Yeah,
what
very
life lessons
wise.
did you learn after reading Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, I read Bhagavad Gita every day, and I read Bhagavatam, I read Chaitanya Charitamrita, I read Nityananda Amrita, I read Upanishad, Ishopanishad, the story of Ramanuja Acharya. Now, for example, I'm translating one book, Bhakta Vijaya, which is not in Spanish. So
Okay.
I we are translating it to Spanish, and we like to with some way distribute it here, that people can know these stories of the big bhaktas from India. Like for example, there is Namdev, Tulasidas, or Bhakta Kabir. There are many stories of many sages, many big.
Yes, Sant Namdev, Tulsidas, Mirabai, all of many people.
Yeah. And so there are very beautiful stories, and there are real examples how people reach the connection with God. No, here in Occident it's very Maya. It's not the same like in India. Here is very we are very skeptic, very always critic point. Always doubts. There is no faith. This is like it's terrible. This is hell here.
Oh.
But there are some souls which are looking for the light. So there is much spirituality, like very superficial here. There are people are thinking that they are very spiritual, but they don't know nothing about devotion to God. They are just making yoga because it's easy to more enjoy more with the body. They are again falling in the same trap through the spirituality, and it become commercial, and it's nothing pure. It's always the same. It's Kali Yuga, and it's much. In India also it's coming, but always there is. For example, I can give you example. I have in WhatsApp. I have many people, in my WhatsApp, but only people which I have from India send me every day something about Sri Krishna, about the positive thinking, this, that. But every day they are like very constant, and always, and this in India, so people have this exchange. Here, not. Nobody sends me WhatsApps every day about scriptures, some verses from the scriptures, or about positive thinking. Well, no, a little bit, but not so about Sri Krishna, about the devotion, about spiritual life. It's very difficult. So we don't maintain the consciousness here with the same way like in India, because there is like a part of the life here. It's something new for most of the people.
So,
So we
what
have
role
to
Bhagavad
destroy.
Gita played in helping you enhance your religious consciousness?
Uh,
What role Bhagavad Gita play in making you conscious about spirituality and religion? How Bhagavad Gita helped you?
for me personally, or
Yes, personally.
yeah, Bhagavad Gita, for me, there is all the knowledge. I don't need more books. If I have Bhagavad Gita, with this, I have enough. There is everything. So I learned everything from Bhagavad Gita. And it helps me also to recognize the truth from the false, to recognize the real from the unreal, to recognize mm, the real path of Dharma, no? Which I have to follow to be in peace and to be happy, and to help also the others. Any problem can be resolved with Bhagavad Gita. Every problem, there is everything, and it's just very simple because Sri Krishna always repeats the same all the time. So there is really, it's we can even reduce Bhagavad Gita to few pages because there is always the same repeating, and this only thing can mm, resolve all the problems because it capacitates us to resolve it.
So this is very interesting when you said that when you have Bhagavad Gita, you don't need to read any other books. There is all the knowledge of the world in one single treatise of Bhagavad Gita. But on the other hand, I've observed this small and beautiful irony. In many of the Hindu temples in India, you don't have Bhagavad Gita available in the temple shops.
Wow.
I mean, whereas it would be really interesting if Jahanava, Mandir, and Ashram can be pioneers in this movement where Bhagavad Gita can be available for mass consumption. Because even
Nice.
today, very few people get access to Bhagavad Gita in their language and in a place near their a place of residence. It is
Mhm.
not very easily available. So I feel.
We make Bhagavad Gita even in audio, audio book of Bhagavad Gita in Spanish. We make with one studio of audio books. It was also history of Sri Krishna because there was one. I would like to make audio book of Bhagavad Gita, and there was one boy which has a studio of audio books, and he was looking for somebody who edit in Spain Bhagavad Gita. And
So he
finally we meet and we make it. So it was very very beautiful stories from the hands of Sri Krishna. It was all controlled by Sri Krishna. So now
True.
we have like, and also there is another one thing which is very important, and it's very, here is like totally unknown, and in India even people much time confuse them. But bueno, there is much more conscious of this. No, there is more like, this is like more normal there. But about the guru, the knowledge about guru, this is like totally confused here, and there are, especially about Diksha Guru, because today everybody knows Guru, Master, this, that. I have Guru, I don't have, I will do this. But the Diksha Guru is so important us to connect with Sri Krishna. Will give us the authorization for that. And this is, my Guru, right? My Guru Sri Prem Krishnadas Babaji, which I sent all my pranam to him from here, which is also here in the Jahanava Mandir. So he write a book about the borders of India, because many groups bring here knowledge from India, but they confuse this and they think that Shiksha is the most important, that Diksha, and it's like just a tradition and this and so, and this is the basis for spiritual life. When we have no Diksha, we cannot, it's like the mother without father. It's like we put the water, but we don't put a seed. So what for does it serve? So we can have
True.
all the
True.
instruction, we can have all the books, but when we don't have this one who give us the prem, this one which connects us with God, so we cannot understand it properly. We cannot cut the samsara. And you can see how the world is now, this Kali Yuga, we can all around the world, Kali Yuga, it's very strong, and it's just starting. So when we don't cut the samsara, next life it will be much worse, and it takes many thousands of years. So we have to care about our liberation from this Maya, from this
True.
Kali
Since
Yuga.
we are talking about liberation, sir, how humans can liberate themselves from regrets and guilt of past actions?
Yeah, that's the point. Preciously, without in Guru Gita from Lord Shiva, he speaks. If you have no Guru Diksha, you can chant the mantras during reach. You will not liberate yourself. You can do everything you like, but if you don't have if you don't satisfy your Guru, you will cut the samsara. In India, when I first time come there, they told to me, no Guru, no Krishna. So this is the and even Sri Krishna takes Guru. His Diksha Guru Sandipani Muni. He also take Guru, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu take Guru, and Lord Ram has also Guru. Why he take Guru? He is a Guru. He is a Jagat Guru. He is the Guru of all the Gurus. But he also take Guru. Why? That's why it's so important to destroy the karma, to have a Guru, because the Guru takes our karma. We cannot alone destroy karma. Even if we read Bhagavad Gita, we have to make a disinterested actions, but it's a good karma. It's not a karma. You have to serve, but without desire to do it. And how we can do it? How can I do something without desire? I have always to have some desire to do it, because if not, I will not do it. But
True.
when we serve to the Guru like a disciple, like a shishya, like a like a servant, so we have even no one desire, because he tell us do this, and even you don't like to do it, but you do it because he told you. And why he told you? Because his Guru told him. And this is the importance of the Diksha and the successful life. He tell us what we have to do. This is not his desire, it's desire of Lord Sri Krishna. That's why the Dasa Anudas, we have to be servant of servant. of Sri Krishna. And when we have not this diksha, we can have all this knowledge, but this don't. It's like a sea without water or river without water. There is the river, but there is no water in it. So for what does it serve?
True importance of a spiritual master is indeed indispensable, regardless of how modern or urbanized we are. We always need someone with
Yes.
great experience in ancient scriptures, in ancient knowledge, to guide us in correct path, to guide our
Yes.
decisions in correct path. Because once we
Correct.
make wrong decisions, we cannot undo them. Money can come and go, fame can come go and come back, but once you do a wrong action, once you make a wrong decision, you cannot undo that. That's impossible. So it is very important that whatever decisions we make, you do it with the guidance of a
Blessings of
mentor,
Guru.
with the
Yes.
blessings and with the guidance and blessings of a spiritual master. True.
Yes.
So now this is a
It's
very
just
yeah.
more just because of the karma. You ask that how we can destroy the karma. This is the system of destroying of the karma, because for example we can see it in the battle. There is the general and the soldiers. The soldiers, they are fighting, they are killing, they are doing sins, but in reality they don't have karma for this, because the general take the karma. He is speaking to them, do this, and they doing, so he take their karma. The same the woman and man. The man takes karma from the woman, because the woman is like a of the family. So the woman don't have karma because the man take the karma. Yeah? And the children as well. When the child goes and he break a window of the neighborhood, the neighborhood, who will he punish? The father, no? Because, "Why, your son break my window?" But he don't go to the son. He goes to the father, because the father takes the karma, and with the same way the guru takes the karma of the devotees. Only, but when they hear him, of course, when they don't hear him, so he take bad karma as well till some point, no? So like Jesus here in Christianity, he took the karma of the disciples and they crucified him
Yes.
because they didn't was not good disciples. But here nobody understand it like this. People speak, Jesus take all my sins, I can do what I like, and they do all the sins they like, and they think that Jesus take all their karma, but it's not possible, even because he don't take the karma from people which are not initiated in initiation. So it is so important, because with this establish a relation with the guru. It's not possible to take a guru which is not more in this world. We have to have a live guru, and to become initiated after establish the connection, and after he take our karma. So this is like very important point which not very much people understand, and it's
So
important
very
to.
well explained, sir. Like it is very interesting how you elaborated about karma from a universal perspective by involving the story of Jesus Christ in that in the narrative. Because you explain karma from the story of Jesus Christ. That is very interesting. This is very unique.
I write a book.
Never heard of it.
There is this book is like a recompilation of stories from India which I recopilate, and there is many stories about karma, because of this very important. It's, if we don't understand the karma, so we cannot understand the spiritual life, because this is why we are here to come here again and to receive the recompense, good or bad. But we will be always slave in the material world.
True, true. And thanks for showing us the frame of your book. And I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in reading it. And so the next question is
I don't
more of a
translate it in.
spiritual side. So, is there any difference between pain and suffering, according to you? And how can we humans free ourselves from pain and suffering?
the happiness and the suffering are two sides of the same coin.
Okay.
Of the internet connection. Now you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So in reality, this is just two parts of the same thing, because we are in dual world, no, of the dualities. So we understand everything from the point of the view of our own position. But what for me can be something beautiful for somebody else is not so nice, and is very relative. No, it's because it's duality. Mm, and there is very much information about this, how we can, because well, everybody likes to stay happy and don't suffer. No, it's normal.
Yeah. We
The
don't
happiness
want
is what we are
challenges.
looking for.
We
It's
don't
not
want
about,
suffering.
but also the suffering are like trumps, because you like to be just happy, but after happiness in this world always will come suffering. It's like summer, winter, spring.
Hmm.
It's always stations of the life. Now the pandemic, for example, nobody can be, because you never know what will happen.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that we not stay happy, because when we concentrate our mind in God, when we forget this word and we just remember our duty for Sri Krishna, we can be totally happy. I am not now less happy like before the pandemic, but many people are like this. They don't, they are not in peace, but they were not in peace before as well. So it's like, so we have to look for to tolerate what happens with patience and concentrate our mind in God, because He can give us the shelter. That's why we have a ashram, because the ashram means a refugee. Ashram is for everybody who is enough of suffering in this world, and he see that every way he try doesn't function. He look for happiness with one way, another way, with another way, but always there comes some deception in the end. Even in the family, I was looking for the woman of my dreams and everything, but when I find her, always after some time, always. So where is the perfection in this material world? I was thinking the love between the man and woman, this is the perfection, no? Because I didn't know nothing about God, so I was thinking this is the perfection, the love, because I feel that love is the best, no? But this is not love. This, there are just, the interests in it always. When there is not Sisi Krishna in our life, where is not God there in the middle of all, never we will become always happy. Never we will become Satchidanand, full of happiness, eternal.
Paramananda.
Always
Uh,
temporary happy.
yeah. Uh,
Yes.
so what is the secret to achieve harmony between mind, body, and soul? What is the secret?
The secrets are not told, because after they are not secrets. But when I will tell you something about this. Mm, the peace in our mind we can achieve when we have love and when we serve to God. This is the only way how we can achieve constant peace in all our being. It will expand not just on our mind and on our body, it will expand also on other persons around us and on this world. Why is now suffering the world with some pandemic or with some problems, or people which are doing these problems for us, or whatever happens? Why this karma? From where it comes? Because people don't know, like to know nothing about God. People are selfish.
True.
And this
Agree.
we are all the problems disappears. When we are far away from God, appears sickness, poverty, problem, suffering, all these things. More away we are from God, more problems will come. And more near we are to God, more problems will disappear. It, of course, it can happen. Something will happen always. For example, now in our ashram here, we had a fire before several days. It was fire here, and
Okay.
normally when happens something like this, the people are depressed. They have problems in the head, in the body, in the soul. Because now how we will pay the reparations, how we will establish again the activities, everything. But we are always the same. This everything what Sri Krishna does is good. Is no problem. It was burned some karma which should be burned, and what we can do with this is desire of God, and we are just follow serving.
So
So
we
we
should
have to
see
be in
everything
trust.
positively. Is that what you mean? We should see everything
But
positively because everything
this is
happens within the will of God.
yes, this is the most important. I can tell you a small story about this. Maybe it
Sure.
can help
Sure.
people.
Yes.
There was in India, which has a very wise minister, and this minister always tell him everything what does God is good. So he had a problem with the enemies, and he asked the minister, "What we will do? What will happen? What it is very difficult now." And he speaks Shanti, Shanti. Everything what does God is good. Om Tat Sat, no problem. So, and after it was resolved, and he was like he win the battle, and he even have more land and everything. So he was growing this king, no, in all aspects, with all these problems which come to him. There was like no, there were no, for example, sicknesses for the animals or something. So, or again, speak the minister problem. This everything what does God is good, no problem. It has behind something good. So after it brings them to another solutions, and they discover new possibilities, and always it was like advertising of the minister were good, no. So um, in the end, one day the king goes to the forest, and he was he was kshatriya, no, he was like there hunting and things like that. So there were a lion and he attacked him, and he cut him one finger. When he attacked him, they after in the end they save him, but one finger was lost, and the king with very much suffering. You imagine if the tiger or the lion, he catch him the finger, and he was much blood and very much pain. And he
Yes.
come to the palace, and
Yes.
he was very fastidiated, very suffering. And he after when he become a little bit better, so he asked the minister, "What do you think about this? What does it mean that I lost one finger?" And the minister speak, "Bueno, we don't know the propósito of God behind it. Everything what God does is good." And the king was like, it would be good that I lost one finger. What are you telling? And another ministers which were envious, so they asked to talk to the king. He like to kill you. You see what he is telling, that is good for you, that attack you the tiger or the lion. So the king in the end, he put him in the prison. And the minister just speak, "Well, everything what does God is good," and he goes to the prison. So after some time, the king again was not lion, it was the cannibals, the meat of the humans. And they catch him, and another people as well, another ministers which were with him. So they catch him, and they like to offer him Kali, the Devi of death, to offer him to Kali. And so they were like preparing their bodies, and they were like they're on the tree, like put him with the ropes. And so they take out his clothes, to prepare his body with oils, to offer it properly, to kill him in the sacrifice. So mm, he was very scared, and they see that he has no one finger was left, and they speak, wow, this one is not perfect, we cannot offer him to the goddess. Let him go, why we need him, he has no finger, we cannot offer it properly, he's not after tasty. So they let him go, and he escaped very running, very to the palace. The first thing, he was yet naked, but he go to the prison, and the first thing what he does to liberate this minister and speak to him, you were truthful, you speak that it is good what happened for me, and it saved my life, everything what God does is good. And the minister doesn't understand what happens, but after he understood, no? So he, all right, you see, my majesty many times, but everything what happened is good, because we are in the hands of God. And the king was agree. And after he was also talking, when they were taking like more in Santi, more when he was more like established again. So he talked with the minister taking tea, and they talk about the accident, and he speak, I understand already why happened for me this with the finger, but you are very good minister, you are the best person, you even go to the prison just to give me a good advices, no, good information. So what good is on this, that you go in the prison? What does God good in it? And the minister speak, you can imagine when I am not in the prison, what happens. So I go with you to the forest to hunt, and they catch me as well, like the another ministers. And what happened with them, actually? So this is the point, no? It was also good that he was in the prison, just water and chapati. If not, surely the cannibals catch him as well, and they eat him as well. So it was also good that he was in the prison. So there we can see many knowledge in this small story, how to understand the will of God. Not always we can, from our short point of the view, for the tree we don't see the forest. We sometimes speak, why happiness for me, this is not good. But in the end, when we put it in the hands, lotus like hands of Sisi Krishna, we can trust him, because all what happens in the end is for the good proposite, no? Because Sri Krishna is love. He will never do for something bad for us. He is pure love. He's prem.
Very true. And I can see a beautiful picture behind you of Shri Krishna and Radha. And there is a beautiful poster of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. I can also see Lord Hanumana and Lord carrying Lord Ram and Lord Sita on his shoulder. A very, very beautiful
There's
and
also a small
spiritually
picture.
uplifting background.
It's
Uh,
full here. You see, here is, for example, Maria, very beautiful.
Goddess
The mother
Lakshmi,
is
Goddess
a good.
Durga, yes. Be seated on a tiger, Goddess Durga. Very spiritually uplifting environment, and I can see the source of your thoughts,
And
the
my
source of your
Guruji,
good thoughts.
Sri Prem Krishnadas Haribo,
My
is the
salutations,
source
my
of all my life.
salutations and respects. So how would
Here you
you,
can
yes,
see Radhishyam.
yes, Radhe Sham, Radhe Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Sri Krishna. Yeah, it's
Very
full here
beautiful
all around the ashram. It's full of
and very pleasing to the eyes, very pleasing to the senses. And I would be very interested to visit the ashram and the temple in Spain and see this spiritually and mentally uplifting vision in person.
yeah.
It is
So you
very
are invited.
beautiful to see it virtually. I'm sure in reality it will be way more pleasing and way more beautiful. The Eden on earth.
Kija, that's
uh,
fine.
so the
Like small
next
paradise here.
next question, the Eden, the paradise, the Swarga. Yes. So the next question is, how would you define the concept of Hinduism, the idea of Hinduism?
Yeah, I explained you already in another question, I think, no? That about Hinduism for me, it's like concept of from Westerns, about India. I don't believe that Hinduism comes from India. Hinduism, it's like a concept how the Westerners see India, but in India, it's no Hinduism. India is Vedic scriptures, the pure religion of Bhakti, pure religion of Bhava, Prema, pure religion, Vedic religion. It's no mention more like 300 years before. What is Hinduism? This is what people speak. There are many gods in India. There is Hinduism. Hinduism is many gods, yeah. Hinduism, many gods, but India is not Hinduism. India is the the land of Bharat, Bharatavars, descendants of the Sun dynasty, Surya. So there
Surya
is
Vanshi.
so yes, and there is Sanatana Dharma. This is the real religion of God. Hinduism is just a word which was invented, I think, by the Englishman. So I don't know exactly, but I know that it's not original from India. It's like something modern, like today there are so many. There is even beer yoga, to drink beer and make a posture and another posture. There's
So, how
so
would
many
you
things
elaborate the
with you.
idea of Sanatan Dharam? How would you explain that?
Yeah, this is the real path of the soul. This is our real uh, state of existence, no, in eternity. This is the real truthful point of the view on the life. Not just this life. We are here. This is just a part of the eternity. We are here just. It's a pastime. It's like when we go to vacations and we come back. So this is like we are here on vacations and we have to be conscious of this. This is a theater, and the Sanatana Dharma show us how to live the truth already in this world, in this life, in this earth, without to be influenced by the material energy, to be in real contact and union with God, and to do to be a part of His plan, of His pastimes, on His desire. So we are just living for God, and so we are in reality in spiritual world. We are not necessary to look for the liberation, because when we serve God in this world, we are already liberated. We don't need to like to make some force to become liberated. We are already liberated when we serve to the God, because He is with us here. You can see there the Nityananda and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So they to the people always spoke to Gauranga, where you go, there is Vrindavan. So this is what we can do. We can manifest Vaikunta in our house. No problem.
Oh, that is a very beautiful vision, a very beautiful thought indeed, that we can manifest Vaikuntha in our own house. We don't need to
Yeah.
go anywhere to seek God, because God is right there where you are.
Yes. That's why we have a cow which name is Surabhi.
Surabhi, oh, that's a beautiful name. I would really love, I look forward to meeting Surabhi one day.
You will be very in ecstasy because Surabhi take his length and she make make you all wet, you know. She's so lovely. It's
Maybe
very
I can
lovely.
see the image of Kamadhenu in Surabhi.
Yes, yeah, sure.
So this
She's
is the final and a very special question. So, what are your thoughts about India? And tell us about your journey in India. How was it when you saw India for the first time and when you interacted with Indian culture, Indian people, Indian food? How was your experience?
India. India for me is it's my home. There where I really feel home in India with the
Honor to
people.
hear it. Honor.
Because there I can really feel me like a person, like a soul, and the people from India are incredible. There is so much goodness in India. Of course, there is everything. No, there is the most best, but also the worst ones. But they are truthful. Not like here that is everything is a mask. You know, everything is hypocrisy. In India, people don't have this concept of hypocrisy like spiritual. You know, they are who they are and they have faith. It's an example for the humanity in many aspects. Of course, there are many things which should be treated also from the, but it's normal in Kali Yuga. What the knowledge which is in India, no one land in the world has this knowledge. You have to be proud on to be Indian, but not just to be Indian. You have to be proud that you born there because you have a very good karma that you born in India. Not everybody can born in India. Even not everybody can go to the India. For example, I was from childhood thinking I will go to India, but I didn't know nothing about India. It was in my from previous life. I lived in India, so I feel that I I have to go there, but I feel something, but I didn't know about Sri Krishna, didn't know about Guru, didn't know nothing. Just feel that I like to go to India. And when I grow up, when I meet my Guru, I even didn't know that I will go to India because I was new. I don't know where if it will be possible. But it was one moment to another. My Guru told me, in 1 week we go to India, and I speak what? It was something. I was like with him like several months, and he speak in 1 week we go to India, and we have to go, and we go to my country because in this time I was in Germany, so we go to check to make my visum, and I go to India. I didn't expect it for nothing, you know. It was from like desire of Radharani Kripa that I could come, and I go to Vrindavan. I come to Radhakund. Many people like to come there, and they are like making force to come there, and they cannot. Something happened that they cannot come. The plane don't go. They become sick, or they don't. They lost their something happened that they don't come there, you know, and especially to these holy places. Even people from India don't. Not everybody come
No,
to
no.
Vrindavan or Radhakund.
But
This is the
I
process.
did visit Vrindavan a few
Yeah,
years ago and I was able to see the glory of Lord Krishna's birthplace. I was able to visit Mathura. I was able to interact with the spiritual devotees of Lord Krishna in person. And it was a heavenly experience. I cannot forget it. It is still there in my memory, very vivid and very clear.
next time you go, we meet us there in Radhakund, okay?
I mean, yes, sir, it
Sure.
was very beautiful to talk to you on the auspicious occasion of Diwali, the festival commemorating
Bye.
the victory of Lord Rama, and very beautiful, very enlightening. And I look forward to connecting with you again very soon.
Yeah, for me, it was much a blessing to have this interview. It's the most beautiful interview in my life. Nobody make for me something like this. It's a present for me for Diwali.
Oh, pleasure and very beautiful. I mean, spiritually enlightening and uh, as good as a miracle for me. I was not expecting that I will be able to talk to somebody with a very broad knowledge of Hinduism at a very young age. But here I am asking you questions, and here I am growing in age and in spirituality.
It's very nice. The world need women like you, Mataji, Swamini. You should become Swamini and to give for the world this message, because it's also not just about. For example, I can tell you example. When my guru make me guru, he gave me the initiation of Swami of Guru. So I was telling him before, I don't feel prepared, Gurudev. I don't think that it's time. I need more preparation and everything. But he tell me, who knows it better than me if you are prepared or not? So I just
One
right.
of our, there is a Swamini and a Swami watching this interview right now.
Hi,
And I am sure. And you
regards.
will meet them, they will meet you one day. The karmas will intersect.
Yeah, this is for me the best pleasure to meet with Vaishnavas and to speak Krishna Katha. This is the most pleasure in this world. It's nectar, it's prasadam, when we are in spiritual world, when we're talking about these things. In reality now, what we have done all the time, we just be in the presence of Sri Krishna, because he speaks. I am not in I am not in the temples. I am not in the spiritual world. I am even not in the holy places. I am there where my devotees serve me with love and talking about me. There where I am present really.
Mm, thank you for adoring my life with words of great knowledge and great enlightenment. I mean, enlightenment is a word that is coming from me again and again, because this is a very, very rare emotion that I am able to connect to right now. And I wish that a lot of people should feel an enlightening experience the way I am feeling it right now. And thank you very much. I am very glad this Diwali became way more special after talking to you.
Jai Sri Krishna, Hari
Yes.
Bol,
Jai
Radhe
Shri
Shyam,
Krishna. Jai
Jai
Shri
Sri
Krishna.
Gurudev, Radhe Radhe, Shyam Radhe.
Sure. Stay connected.